Please be advised that the views and opinions of the host and guests do not reflect those of the station, the management, and its network.
Welcome back to Millennial TV, everybody. And this is probably our most controversial topic. And for most of the time, we agree with each other. Pero I think this is the first time, no, na medyo nagbabari yung opinions nating lima. So, even if it's a very sensitive topic, I'm happy that we have this platform to talk about it. And I also wanna encourage din yung mga viewers natin at ang ibang mga ka-millennials natin na let's not turn a blind eye to things na kahit sensitive, kailangan natin pag-usapan. Let this show and let our other social circles be a space where we can safely talk about things like this.
Yes, especially a lot of people has something to say about divorce. Pero let's talk about something simple nga muna na like settling down.
Hindi simple yan, ha?
Settle down. Once kasi na yun nga magpakasal ka ng isang tao, there will be a lot of missed opportunities. You know, how do you think a person can cope up or they won't lose themselves when they're settling down with someone, you know? Considering our generation, yung majority of us, nakatira pa with parents, right? So parang isa rin na rin factors sa mga divorce. So when a person loses herself, nagkakaroon na ng lack of communication and lack of intimacy, which ends up in separation. What do you guys think about settling down?
Well, ako kasi for me, this is what I would normally recommend to a lot of people. But of course, what works for me or what works for other people may not work for some. So, ako for me, in your 20s, build your dreams, build your career, focus on self-growth, focus on like making sure to have a strong foundation in terms of your fallback. Okay? A lot of people, I know, I get it, you know, millennials or Gen Zs, they can start a family at 20s, mid-20s, early 20s, but most of the time you're not mature enough to just really handle things, because you know that's the real world after graduation, after school. That's another world to be entering the corporate world or starting your own business or figuring out who you really are, what you really want. And then here comes entering a relationship, a lifelong commitment with someone, and then what if there's a baby? So that's another story. So for me, just enjoy life. And you know, a lot of people kasi sinasabi nila, ba't mo pinakasalan? Tapos ngayon, hiwa-hiwalayan mo? Or, have you been in that, parang yung ganun yung mindset ninyo before? Na, kasi ako before parang, inisip ko rin, parang, ba't mo pa kasi pinakasalan? Kita mo wala nga divorce dito. Alam mo yun yung mga ganun. But you know, sometimes kasi when you're really in love with the person, parang, okay, this is it. This is until the end of time. Have you been in that? How about you, Chris? Like you...
Wala pa, pero sa napapansin ko parang nagiging normal na yung couple na nauuna yung magkaroon sila ng anak bago ikasal. Diba? Nagiging normal na siya. Hindi na nasusunod yung mga dating nakagawian na ikasal muna, di ba?
Is it grounds for would you marry someone just because you get her pregnant?
Kasi pwedeng yung nagkaroon ka ng anak, pwedeng accident yun, di ba? Diba?
Accident yung getting someone pregnant? Like,
pwede.
nasasaan mo lang siya, tapos sumot?
Pwede yun, pwede. Kumbaga hindi sila...
Nasasaan mo siya, then, okay, choke, baby.
Yes, kumbaga hindi sila prepared, di ba?
Not ready. Okay, that's what I'm really talking about. Parang you're not mentally, emotionally, financially ready for another child. And you know, given the very chaotic world natin dito, ako yan yung isa sa mga concerns ko. Like, I mean, for our generation, guys, I'm not sure kung mga millennials, mga nanonood sa atin ngayon, let me know if ever you have a plan of getting married one day or having a child, because napapansin ko with millennials and Gen Zs, they just don't want to get married. They just don't want to have kids anymore.
Kasi karamihan nagiging cautious na, nag-iingat na.
Ikaw ba?
Yes, ganun din.
Okay. How about
Siyempre,
you?
pinaghahandaan yan.
Do you think of getting married?
Oo naman, pero siguro hindi ko naman
Not right now,
masasabi. Oo, hindi ngayon talaga.
Pinaghahandaan kasi yan emotionally, financially.
Yeah.
Diba?
How about you, Zara? Like right now you have a kid, but way back, have you ever thought of like, oh, maybe this is it, like I should...
I thought of it before kasi nga may kid.
Oh, yeah, may kid. Yung parang you want to give the happy family concept.
You have to think about it talaga. And my family opened up to me na parang, sure ka ba dyan? As if you want to dahil lang may child. Parang it's really important that you have a support system rin talaga, so you don't jump into this kind of decisions kasi big talagang yung marriage, di ba?
Pero napag-usapan yung before?
Napag-usapan ng family?
Nang kayo ng partner mo na ganun? As
in,
the father of the child?
Oo, napag-usapan namin. Feeling lang namin na it's an easy way just to live together, you know, for the baby. Kasi lalo na yung family ko, they're very religious.
Correct.
So ayaw nila ng live-in. So parang we considered that idea. Pero when looking back, oh my God, parang I'm so glad I didn't do that. I'm so glad I followed my family.
Yeah.
Like, thank you.
Yeah, well, I think that's the good thing about our generation right now, since we're very assertive. Unlike before, makita ka lang na, oh, since may anak na kayo neto, or nakita na kayo na natulog na kayo together, you have to marry. Alam mo may mga pikot na word, di ba? Or yung kailangan ka nang ipakasal. Imagine living in that kind of generation pa rin ngayon. Like, I can't.
Super
like for me, number
parents.
one, babies don't hold relationships. Like even if you have kids, siguro yung mga old-fashioned, like ako, my mom stayed in a very toxic marriage for how long? Because she's not really capable of raising us. And that's what kaya ako nag-ano ng mga, especially women or girls, study hard, make sure that you have a career, and then make sure that you're not going to be dependent on your partner, because if one day you are cornered in a very toxic situation or you have a kid, you should be able to self-sustain, I would say.
Yes.
Hindi ka mag-stay sa isang relationship.
Just not be dependent on the other person.
Life is too short to stay somewhere na you're not really happy anymore. How about you, Waki? Like, have you ever thought of settling down?
Of course. I think you're the oldest, but definitely I'm at the age na I should start thinking about it.
Yeah.
But, diba, I mean, given what happened to me earlier this year, and hindi ko naman tinatago na I'm not exactly in the best place emotionally right now.
Okay.
This is one of the times I'm glad that I don't have a family to take care of.
Okay. Kasi
I can imagine yung depression na pinagdadaanan ko ngayon. I mean, not medically, but I can imagine, I mean, it's heavy for me right now. And I can't imagine having to take care of another family and another kid while I'm going through this. Of course, ibang usapan naman pag andyan, di ba? Not naman saying na porket may crisis, di ba, dapat wala ka ng apak sa family mo. But now that I'm going through something very, very heavy and very, very, I wanna say tragic, pero life-changing basically, na lahat nung pinapaniwalaan ko. I'm glad that I don't have a family to take care of. That being said, it is in the plans naman. I mean, a lot of my friends and family members are settling down na rin. So, di ba, parang, of course, everyone naman in the perfect world, di ba, we've focused too much on the negative. Pero, I think naman, everyone naman dreams of that situation then na you can settle down with someone and andun yung comfort and palagay mo na that person will be there for the rest of your life. Pero, lumalayo tayo ng konti, no? Yung topic natin, is divorce. So, balik tayo dun sa question ng pro and anti, no? Sabihin natin ma-legalize yung divorce bukas. Ako kasi, before I make a firm stand kung pro or anti-divorce pa ako, is ano ba yung mga laws in place to protect yung mga children or yung mga other family members should it be legalized? The same way na nung Pride episode natin, I mentioned na parang allowing our LGBTQIA members to get married allows the law and the church to protect them. Ganon din dapat sa divorce.
Correct.
So pag na-legalize yung divorce, lawyers, please feel free to chime in. nandun ba yung mga ibang mga batas para pangalagaan yung mga batang maiiwanan or yung mga spouses na hindi ganun ka-financially capable? Yun ang tanong ko dyan kasi madaling magsabing pro tayo na diba we should have a choice, madaling sabihin na hindi, dapat panindigan mo yung papakasalan mo. Pero ako, I will, as a non-legal practitioner, doon ako babalik malegalize bukas yan. Is everybody affected, protected?
Yeah. And how are we going to make sure that it's not going to be abused?
Yes.
Exactly.
That new law. Number one abusers. Diba?
Yeah, so yun nga, sabi nga, Filipinos are very pro-family. So ano masasabi niyo pag yung proposed bill ng divorce ay effective na sa country natin?
How will it affect our country?
Yes.
The church is going to have something to say about it, definitely.
For sure.
The church will be the first one to rally. And I'm not speaking against the church, pero just saying it matter-of-factly, na if something like this gets passed.
Well, I am speaking against the church because they are the main reason why we are in the very, very backward mindset, very third world mindset right now, because they are very powerful, and a lot of politicians are stroking their egos, not to offend them. That's why until now we don't have same-sex marriage equality, we don't have divorce, abortion is never going to happen in my lifetime, I don't think so. I mean, those are the factors na sana the separation of church and state should take effect. Kasi parang we're talking about legal boundaries, we're talking about human rights. I mean, we're talking about choices. When it comes to being pro-family, it's so easy to say pro-life, pro-family, but having divorce is pro-family.
Right.
Being stuck in a home that's no longer, healthy for you, just because there's a piece of paper, you're holding on to that, it's not healthy, it's not being pro-family. That's just for me.
Kasi ang law ng tao, minsan, salungat sa law ng Bible. Pero sa opinion ko, stand ako dun sa law ng Bible. Yun ang opinion ko.
Because you're thinking about a book that has been written by God.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, ako kasi, if ever na ma-affect sa yung bill, for me, I think okay siya. Like, if you're not pro-divorce, edi wag ka magpa-divorce. Wala mang pumipilit sa'yo magpa-divorce. But let others be happy and do it for themselves. If that's what you believe in Bible and all, edi, that's good for you. But for other people, think of other people na suffering also with the family.
How about yung mga bata? Like for example, kasi may mga bata na may mga bata sinasabi nila na okay sila na wala silang parents, pero may mga bata na super emotional na pag wala silang parents, nade-depress.
I think it's the parents' job not to make them understand. That it's really, na you don't have to stick.
And I think it's about time that we don't underestimate children's understanding because they know better now. They know a lot. Like when it comes to family issues, ako na during the time that I was in a very, very toxic household, I was like, just make it official. And we're good. You know.
Marami na ring separate family.
Yeah, trending na yun.
They would understand naman talaga.
Trending.
Uso na yan ngayon. Like, hello. Yan yung
it's not hard to just talk to your children.
Just talk to them, make them understand that it's better this way rather than, ipilit natin. Kasi, I mean, it's unfair for you, it's unfair for your partner, it's unfair for the kids.
Ano tingin mo?
Ang hirap, di ba? 50-50.
Parang...
Chris is a very religious person and I understand. Like, years and decades or centuries of indoctrination, you really have certain beliefs na mahirap mong baliin. Like, ako, even I, may mga biases tayo, so that's the good thing about having discussion, having discourse, because you get to just maybe give it a chance. Maybe consider things and change your perspective. That's just for me.
Okay.
Ayun.
Intense, guys, ha?
Hindi kasi,
pero talaga, init.
no one is married in this team, in this crew ha.
Yeah.
Pero yun, akin lang kasi, up to extent kasi, when it comes to marriage, it's a universal topic. Maybe because it's about love, you know? So, just like breakup, you don't love someone anymore. That person is consistently hurting you. What's the point of like staying with them? Life is really short, right?
I think to sum it up, and
Mm-mm.
I know I
Okay.
can't speak for everybody, no. I think being pro-divorce doesn't mean you're anti-marriage.
Yeah.
You can still look forward and respect
Correct.
the sanctity of a sacred union, whether recognized yan ng church or recognized yan ng state, but still have the safety net of the
Correct.
divorce. Basta nga, to MA's point, no, hindi
Yes.
siya basta-basta naaabuso.
Well, every couples has their off days naman, no? Pero up to what extent kaya? Lalo na kung may marriage and family na involved, lalo na mga children. Will they let it affect the marriage? And when it comes to that situation, will the Constitution give the rights for a legal separation? Especially kapag naapektuhan na ang nabuong pamilya. Masyadong malawak ang usapang divorcement, pero just like what we kept on mentioning earlier, despite it being a sensitive topic, we cannot turn a blind eye, and what we're saying is purely our opinions only and does not attack anyone or anything. We will make our discussions lighter when we return, kaya dyan lang kayo, Millennial TV will be right back.